$2.3 trillion is the estimated contribution to GDP to US tourism. So people coming into the US, bringing their money with it and spending in the US. It's one of the biggest contributors to the US economy. And it looks like Donald Trump and the Republican Party have introduced something which is probably the biggest contributor to no tourism in the US. Have you heard about it? It's ridiculous. So if you want to go to the US and you're in the UK or any kind of similar country to the UK, which is visa free, then you've got to give 5 years worth of social access to 5 years social media, email addresses and phone numbers of all your friends. I think I heard someone talk about you've got to give some kind of DNA sample as well. No thanks, Donald.
US President Donald Trump wants to make America great again and a safe country, but now there are a number of stories coming from the border about harsh treatment of tourists, and this can affect the entire tourist industry. This is Herbert Bauernebel. The latest case is coming out of Hawaii. 2 German young travelers, both teenagers, entered the airport in Honolulu at the immigration station. They were asked a couple of questions, and soon they found themselves in a discussion and could not provide bookings for accommodation during their 5-week planned stay in Hawaii. That was reason enough for the Border Patrol to arrest them, put them into jail, and send them back to Germany. Similar incidents reported in the last weeks about tourist travelers coming into the United States, being arrested and deported, some of them after 6 weeks in jail. This, of course, has shocked travelers around the world and is maybe a reason why tourism is declining from visitors from overseas. 28% minus for German travelers was detected in March. That, of course, is a significant drop, the biggest actually in this statistic since the start of the COVID pandemic. Similar numbers are reported from other parts of the world, from other countries. This, of course, is hurting the American economy. There is one expert who says the damage could be as big as $120 billion a year with the loss of tourism. He took the number of a minus of 10% over the year to arrive at these numbers. These numbers now could be higher than estimated so far. The stories are multiplying. This is scaring a lot of people. On the other hand, some are simply boycotting the United States because of policies of Donald Trump, especially tariffs that has been put on other countries, put on the world economy. This protest also, of course, is resulting in a reduced number of tourists in the United States and at the end of the day could hurt the U.S. economy.
This goes out to all my people who have plans to come to the United States or want to come travel to the United States and are like on the fence about it and don't know what to do with everything going on here. Don't come. My recommendation is to 100% boycott this country. Do not spend any money here. Do not plan any travels here. Show them that the world does not need the United States.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel once again. So guys, white Americans, especially Maga supporters, they are coming out and show how furious and scared they are simply because of how America tourism it is declining. We are seeing that the majority of the world, they are now boycotting America because of how America it has a harsh immigration policy. We know how majority of white Americans, the Maga supporters, they went ahead and voted for harsh migration policies. We saw how the immigrants, they were being deported with ICE. The whole world was watching how Americans, they were treating immigrant people and the tourist people in their country. So right now they are feeling the heat of voting for harsh immigration policy, and right now we are seeing that majority of people, they are boycotting to go to America because of how America it has become. Majority of them, they are not feeling safe when they are going to visit America. Maybe the ICE, they will capture them, they will be deported, they will be detained. So a majority of tourism, they are really avoiding America, and because of that, America economy it is declining. So right now they are losing a lot of money, and the Maga people, they are being they are now scared and they are furious simply because of how America tourism it is declining. So guys, I just want you to continue watching the rest of the video. Remember to give a video a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel.
Canada and the Canadian people, your boycott on tourism in the United States explained right now. Canada and the Canadian people, let's do some hard numbers. Last year, 2024, you brought in $20 billion in money to the United States with your tourism, okay, and purchasings of stuff around the tourist industry. That's a lot, whether you're talking about going into different national parks, you're talking about going to Disney World, anything. $20 billion last year, okay? What does that look like in the practicality? That was 140,000 jobs that were created to support you guys coming into the continental United States. What does that look like as far as, we had 20 million Canadians coming into the United States. Now, I've been posting about Canada and the outcome of the boycott, and I've had hundreds of people commenting about how they're traveling to other countries to spite the boycott and make sure they didn't spend their money in the United States.
Tourism is way down. And why? Because people come over on vacation and they get locked up for 4 or 5 damn days for no damn reason, and then they get let go. Oh, sorry, I thought you were somebody else. That's who's running the country right now. That's how America is treating people coming over who love this country and just want to come over and visit it. That's how we're treating them.
I think most of the world, if you say, hey, we're going to take a vacation to America, they will say, don't get shot.
Sure.
About 8 months ago, I started a series on here about how the rest of the world views the US. At this point, there's well over 100 videos. And the things that I've learned, I could have never predicted. These are things I never learned even in an AP history class. Because in schools here in the US, we don't really learn how the rest of the world thinks of us. What's important for us to learn is that we're the best. We're taught that we're the only country that actually matters. And that's why we are raised to pledge allegiance to a flag and not ask too many questions. Growing up, I never once questioned that I lived in the greatest country in the world. It took me the better part of my adult life to figure this out, and I'm on a mission to help other people figure that out too. Other Americans who were raised the same way I was. And for those of you who have not left your country or not even left your state, it's time to travel, or it's time to get to know people who live in other countries and have some things to teach us.
Germany and the UK have now issued travel advisories for the United States, and Canadian politicians are now urging Canadians to avoid travel to the United States if at all possible, and saying that people are being denied their rights through arbitrary detention. And this notably comes after customs deported a French scientist for apparently not liking Trump, and also after a German green card holder who's lived here since 2007 was reportedly violently interrogated, stripped naked, and put in a cold shower at Boston Logan. 2 other Germans were detained in other airports, and one was detained for 6 weeks and placed in solitary confinement. And it just seems like it gets worse and worse. There's so many stories. Another incident was when a Canadian woman was detained by ICE for 2 weeks in a cage because she had an error on her paperwork, with her reportedly shackled, thrown in a van, sent to Arizona, kept awake, and not allowed to contact a lawyer. Because the system's seemingly so broken, this woman reportedly had no recourse to get out of the ICE prisons until her family contacted the media. But they're also claiming there were hundreds of other women in the prisons and cells she was held in who have been stuck there for months with no way home, and the Trump administration won't give them due process, so they're just stuck there indefinitely. Then in another incident, a British woman reportedly who was in the US legally traveled to Canada, but upon entry, she was told she needed a different visa and to go back to the US. And then when she approached the US border that she just crossed minutes earlier, they classified her as an illegal alien and detained her for 10 days. You also had reports a professional soccer player from Venezuela who coaches youth soccer and was in the US legally was sent to El Salvador's prisons without due process because ICE allegedly mistook his Real Madrid tattoo for a gang tattoo, which if true, seems like yet another example of why having due process is a great thing. Right? Seemingly maybe why the founders found it so important that they made it the 5th Amendment. Follow to stay in the loop.
When do you believe MAGA world will start waking up to the fact that this is not the guy? That Donald Trump is slipping away before our eyes? How many times do you think that our cognitively insufficient president has said that when Joe Biden was president or when Barack Obama was president, the world was laughing at us? We were a laughing stock. World leaders had no respect for us as a country. Obviously, that's untrue. We've seen it time and time again. Donald Trump and his behavior, his unhinged nature with which he deals with world leaders is a source of mockery. It's a source of embarrassment for those of us who travel internationally and actually interact with people from other countries who see what's happening. And there's this clip that's circulating right now of the president of Albania walking up to Emmanuel Macron of France in front of the leader of Azerbaijan. And they're mocking Donald Trump, who claims that one of the umpteenth peace deals that Donald Trump made, all these countries that were pre-wars and unsettleable wars, he's ended the unendable wars. And these three world leaders are mocking Donald Trump on camera, getting in their belly laughs about what an abject fucking moron Donald Trump is. Because there was no conflict between Albania. There's so many countries that Donald Trump gets it wrong all the time. It's hard to keep track. Between Albania and Azerbaijan. It was between Armenia and Azerbaijan. But here's a clip. This is the source of the mockery. Is Donald Trump, he's announcing the peace deal, and one, can't even pronounce the country Azerbaijan, and then doesn't know that it's Armenia. He calls it Albania. This is the source of the mockery.
Trump talked about how America is respected again.
We were not respected.
So y'all know them travel advisory reports that the United States loves to push out, basically telling us to not go to certain places because they're violent or it's not safe. Yeah, so the Department of Commerce has now issued a report showing a growing list of countries advising their citizens to not come to the United States, to not come and visit the United States. Yeah, now we are not the safe country.
So I'd like to talk just for a few moments about travel economics, especially how it affects the United States of America. So I think Canada started. We started a boycott where we started to say no to travel to the United States. And as the months has gone by, that travel boycott has increased here in Canada, but also around the world. People are saying no to visiting the United States of America. We all already know that the mayor of Las Vegas, for example, has done a press conference where she's literally pleading for Canadians to come back to Las Vegas because the downturn is having such a drastic effect on Las Vegas. We know that Disney has struggled too in regards to some of its numbers. People are not visiting the United States anywhere near they were before Donald Trump took office. And there's a number of reasons for this. Of course, there's the 51st state thing, the aggression from the United States, the aggression from the Trump administration, ICE raids, turning up to the country and not knowing if your passport's going to be accepted or not. So much uncertainty. And we're now starting to see the effects thereof, not just on sales and sales declines, but now we're starting to see job losses. We're seeing local industries, for example, in Maine and Vermont and Connecticut saying, we need help, we're really struggling, there's not enough tourists coming in.
So United States tourism is plummeting in the billions of dollars, that is. And you know how folks often tell international communities how much they need our tourism dollars? A lot of Americans forget that their own cities thrive off of tourism. In 2023 alone, the United States travel and tourism market contributed to $2.36 trillion. And the cities and states that rely heavily on hotel taxes, sales taxes, and other tourism related fees, less tourism for you means less funding in education, transit, and infrastructure in your city or state.
While MAGA diehards keep chanting, "We don't care," every time someone points out the cost of Donald Trump's policies, international tourists are quietly delivering the one response that matters in Trump's America, which is they're not coming to the United States for vacations. We have new data now from the World Travel and Tourism Council. The U.S. is on track to lose over $12 billion in international travel spending this year. That's a decline of 7%. It's not because suddenly the sand on the beaches is no good. It's not because the theme parks got rid of everybody's favorite ride. It's because the rest of the world sees what the United States under Donald Trump has become: expensive, hostile, and unstable. And they're voting with their passports.
America faces a tourism crisis in 2025. Foreign visitors choose safer, easier destinations. The last time I checked at the actual numbers of cancellations to the United States, it was over 1 million foreign travelers, both business travelers and people coming for fun. About a month ago, it was predicted that we were going to lose almost $13 billion in tourism alone in the United States of America.
Hello guys, and welcome to the Joy Report, where we get an outsider's view with an insider's clarity. The US tourism industry is taking a hit, and DT supporters are fuming. The same tough immigration policies, deportation crackdowns, and trade wars they once cheered for are now coming back to bite them hard. America's image abroad has shifted from land of opportunity to land of hostility, and travelers around the world are quietly deciding they've got better places to spend their money. Before we proceed, all credit goes to the creators of these videos. Let's watch a few more clips, and I'll be back with more commentary.
So I've cancelled my next trip to the United States because ICE or whatever the hell it is detaining people. I mean, they detained a young Canadian for 10 days. They apparently arrested a bunch of Germans recently. They're going through people's phones. Like, this is meant to be the United States is meant to be the beacon of democracy and freedom and so forth. Well, it is anything but. This is what fascism actually looks like.
Mexico is reaping the benefits of a U.S. travel boycott. According to the Financial Times, Canadian travel to the U.S. dropped over 13%. It's projected to drop even further. And that's not a fluke. Canadians are intentionally boycotting the United States over Trump's policies. Instead, they're heading south. Travel to Mexico being up more than 15%, and searches for places like Cancun, Sayulita, and Mexico City skyrocketing. Mexico's tourism secretary literally said Canadians are choosing friendlier policies. And airlines are listening. They're pulling back flights to the US and adding new ones to Mexico. And it's not just Canadians. People all over the world are ditching US travel. Flights to the US have already dropped nearly 25% this year alone. They just do not want to support the United States right now, and for good reason.
Boycott that we're currently receiving in the United States from Canadians. I know most of you may not be feeling this or may not see it yet, completely unaware because you don't see it in your daily life. But just let me tell you this. I had a couple of riders this week, both from Toronto. Both are coming down to see family. One had a newborn baby in the family, and the trip had been scheduled for a while, and the other had a sick family member that they needed to come see. And they both told me basically these stories. Number one, that when they went to the airport, that the U.S. Customs, and for Canada, you get on the U.S. Customs and Canada, that there was like nobody in line, and that both planes were like half full as opposed to being completely full. And usually there's a 2-hour wait or more that they told me. They also told me that because of Donald Trump, and because of his tariffs with Canada and the way that they have been treated by Trump, they are boycotting every single product in Canada that is made in the United States. You can go to the grocery stores in Canada, and there would be where the U.S. products, for example, Lay's potato chips and all the chips and all the stuff from the U.S. completely full.
Here's a comment from American telling us, as Canadians and the rest of the world, not to visit the United States. Straight up. It's not safe. Do not go there. Do not visit. Do not spend your time there. Don't go there on a work visa. Don't go there on a student visa. Do not go to the United States. Plain and simple.
So guys, I hope you have watched those compilations of video, and you can see how white Americans, the Maga people, they are furious simply because of how America tourism it is declining. You know, one thing about these people, they DJT lied to them that the people who are taking their jobs, they are immigrant people, and these people, they went ahead and voted for the harsh immigration policies so that these people, they can be deported back to their countries. So when after voting for this immigration policy, we saw how ICE, they were deporting immigrants. We saw those illegal immigrants, how they were being deported. We saw how ICE, it was going on the street just to try to question each and every person they're finding on the street if they are having correct papers, if they are American citizen. So how ICE was treating immigrants people and also some of the Americans, it was not pleasing, and the whole world was watching. So right now you can see the whole world, the rest of the world, the countries in Europe, they are now boycotting to go to America because they feel like America, they are not safe in America. Maybe they will detain, maybe they will be because of also the immigration harsh policy, they will be denied a visa. So right now America tourism, it is declining simply because of their own mistake. And this is a lesson to the white Americans, to the Maga supporters. You know, these people they thought that because their country, it is the first world country, it is the highly respected country in the world, when they will do this to the immigrants people, the whole world will not do anything. So they will just know because they are the first world country, people, they will still come to their country, but they're forgetting that the rest of the world, they were just watching. And also we have been seeing some of the incident whereby also Americans, they were started to be treated like how they've been treating immigrants back to their country. You know, some of the countries in Europe, they were also starting to deport Americans, those illegal immigrants in the country, in the European countries, they were also being deported. We saw how Mexicans, they were deporting also Americans from their country, because also Americans, they were deporting Mexicans, illegal Mexicans from their country. So right now the rest of the world, they're also starting to treat America how they've been also treating them in their country. So it is tit for tat, and right now the world, it is not fearing America. In fact, the rest of the world right now, they are avoiding America. We saw what happened during the Christmas. The America generated a little money from the tourist sector simply because of people are not going to their country. You know, these Americans, they were having a lot of visitors from Canada, and we saw how Canadians, they came out and avoided to go to America. And this is also because of their harsh immigration policy. So this time round, Americans, they are feeling heat, and also the people who are going to be affected, it is the people who have been also working in the in the line of tourism, because majority of hotels, they are closing down, majority of the tourist areas, it is empty. We have been seeing the California, we have been seeing the Texas, people that have been coming out complaining that there's no people. The more money they've been getting from the tourists, there right now there's no those monies, and right now you can see how they are really frustrated because of how America economy is declining. You know, America, it has been generating a lot of money, billions of money from the tourist area, because this is the first world country, and people, so many people that have been wanting to visit this first world country and see how America, it is powerful. So because of how America built itself, people that have been wanting to go and see America, and they've been generating a lot of money from the tourist sector. But right now you can see America tourism, it is declining because of their own mistake. So guys, I just want also to read some of the comment and see what majority of people that have come out and say in the comment section. This one saying that wait until the tech boycott kick in. This one saying that 6 months ago I cancelled a vacation trip to the USA. I will no longer visit that fascist, racist, bully, ignorant country unless they change their attitude to the rest of the world. I will not hold my breath. It seems that America is now so brutalized and on a power trip that any change for the better will take years. In the meantime, it wouldn't be useful for the rest of the world to boycott any travel to America and any American product and brand. So you can see this one, he cancelled the trip to America, and also they are also planning to boycott any America brand, any America products. Now this one saying that all the best in breaking free from the brain washing. This one saying that there is no way I'm going there. this one is saying that boycott the World Cup. This one saying that how the World Cup they were boycotting. This one saying that they treat Canadians, their good friend across the border, the same way I have not been to the US for decades. Don't need. This one saying that never USA again. Maga make America go away and alone bye bye. This was saying that for them, Maga, it means make America go away. This one saying that America who wants to go to America anyway. This one saying that I wouldn't go to America before Trump and I certainly would go now. This one saying that it was ridiculous to elect Trumpy Taco Dumpty again. He made so much problem the first time and you did not understand. Deal with it. So you can see this one is telling them that DJT, he made a lot of problem in his first term. So these people, they didn't learn from that. So they decided to bring him back again in the office. And right now you can see how the rest of the world it is viewing America. This one saying that normal people don't want to visit America. Trump Maga eyes. This one saying that people plus understanding the point behind this with agenda, they don't want us to travel. This one is saying that never more USA. I love the country, but Trump didn't make America great, but turn it into criminal swamp of its own kind. It's terrible that that good, honest America allow this. So you can see these people, the rest of the people, they love America, but it is because of how leadership of America it has become right now. So kindly guys, thank you so much. Subscribe to the channel. See you on my next one. Bye bye.